meant to be broken, but wow.
I know.
I mean, Oscar, woo.
No, there's not one guy on this planet who can do it. I think that's one of those records that will never be touched.
I don't think that's going to happen either, not for a whole year.
What Oscar did with the triple-double, and that would never happen ever again. Never in history of the game.
There are times as fans of basketball where no matter what team you're a fan of, you just gotta sit back and just admire what you're watching. There are certain players that are able to just do certain things on the court so great that no matter what you're a fan of, who you're a fan of, you just have to appreciate what they're bringing to the game. And Russell Westbrook is one of those players. But over the past couple of years, people have been acting like the things he's doing weren't said to be impossible before he actually did them. So today we're just going to take a look at the prime of Russell Westbrook's career and just admire some of the things he's been able to get done in that short amount of time. Now, if we're going to talk about Russell Westbrook's prime, we got to bring it back all the way to when he started doing the impossible. 2017, where after an entire summer of the media pushing this narrative that Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook hate each other, and Kevin Durant moving on to Golden State, many people thought Russ finally had what he wanted. A team for himself. A team where he was the unquestioned leader. Now, while I can't say his feelings were wrong or right, the show Russell Westbrook put on with a team that should not have even made the playoffs was absolutely incredible. After giving glimpses of his ability to rack up triple-doubles at an alarming rate, many analysts and fans finally thought Russ set his sights on one of the NBA's most unbreakable records. Oscar Robertson's triple-doubles in one season. Now, to me, the goal that season was to average a triple-double, not break the record. In an 82-game season where you're the number one star, having a triple-double in more than half those games while maybe missing some time during the season seems like it would not only need an insane amount of skill, but also luck to complete. But on April 9th, 2017, Russell Westbrook proved every single one of us wrong. As in a thriller against the Nuggets, Russell Westbrook put up 50 points, 16 rebounds, and 10 assists in this insane game winner to not only collect the single season triple-double record, but to basically solidify himself as that season's MVP. And to this date, he's the only MVP in the past 30 years to win the award with his team below a top 3 record in their conference. And ever since, any great player that's putting up great numbers on a mediocre team, people have been propping them up on this pedestal, saying that since Russell Westbrook won it in 2017 with his team the 7th seed, they deserve it too. Completely ignoring the fact that Russell Westbrook did something that people thought was impossible. And after winning an award he rightfully deserved, everyone had the same thought. Russell Westbrook needs some help. And he definitely got that as the Oklahoma City Thunder traded Domantas Sabonis and Victor Oladipo for Paul George. And to add a little cherry on top, they also acquired Carmelo Anthony, giving Russ what everyone thought was the help he needed. But I don't think anybody expected what actually happened that season, as even with 2 all-star level players on his team, Russell Westbrook did the impossible again and averaged a triple-double for the 2nd season in a row. But unlike the year before, he was nowhere near the MVP conversation. And for any unbiased fan, it looked like Russell Westbrook has normalized triple-doubles to the point that people weren't even impressed by them anymore. In fact, people were trying to discredit him so much that they completely ignored the fact that Russ getting a triple-double correlates with the Thunder winning, and said Russ was just stat padding, having his centers box out for him while he grabs rebounds. And while that is fair criticism, the only thing I have to say to that is, who cares? If Russell Westbrook getting a triple-double equates to me winning a game and him getting the rebound and pushing the ball up the court faster than any center could get it and give it to him so he can push it, why would him getting the rebound instead of his centers make people this mad? Then it just hit. People just like to dislike him. Russell Westbrook at the time had a tendency to disrespect the media. He wasn't the most efficient player in the league, and with the Thunder underperforming that season, it gave everyone all the ammo to say that he is overrated, completely ignoring the fact that some players on that team just did not fit, it all just spun around on Russ. The guy that was loved by all the media for his eccentric taste in clothes and passion for the game of basketball, the entire argument got completely flipped on his head, as him having a triple-double wasn't impressive anymore. He was now known as a loser that's gonna put up stats no matter where he goes. And after losing what people thought was the problem in Carmelo Anthony and the Thunder's record not really improving much past it did the year before, it really didn't help him, especially in a season where he averaged another triple-double. Furthermore, giving people the reason to think that their point was proven. And even worse, in the playoffs, they got bounced again by the Blazers and by a guard in Damian Lillard that many people thought was Russ's rival for that second to third best point guard in the NBA spot. And with one 37-foot bomb from Damian Lillard later, Russell Westbrook's time in OKC was over. After Paul George's departure to the Clippers, Russell Westbrook requested a trade and got sent to the Houston Rockets with his old teammate, James Harden. And people thought this was probably best for Russ. Go to a place where you're no longer the number one star, didn't have to be the main scorer anymore, you were just the second option on a team that many people thought were championship contenders. But as we got to the season, problems arose, as you could tell that there was some tension. Who should have the ball at the end of the game? Who is really the leader in Houston? And every single talk show ate it up, as now Russell Westbrook was the problem child of the NBA. He creates problems wherever he goes, can't get along with other stars. He needs to be the number one option, but he's not good enough to be a number one option. And also didn't help the fact that Houston completely went all in on small ball, getting rid of their only center in Clint Capella and putting 6'5" PJ Tucker at the 5 spot to accommodate Russ so he has more driving lanes to the rim, as the floor would be spread out a lot more. But an injury there and running into LeBron James and AD here in the playoffs completely silenced all that noise, completely ignoring the fact that Russ had to be rushed back to help make sure the Thunder didn't even lose in the first round. He didn't play well against the Lakers. In fact, it looked like LeBron had a personal vendetta against Russ that entire series. But NBA fans as a whole saw this as the decline of Russell Westbrook. He didn't average a triple-double this season, so many people thought that run was over. He didn't look as quick, as athletic, and the jumper was getting nowhere. And after one season in Houston, he was gone again, as Houston Rockets gave up on Russell Westbrook and James Harden, trading Russ to the Washington Wizards for John Wall. And this should let you know what the media really thought of Russ at this time, since a player in John Wall that hasn't played a game of basketball in 2 years, coming off what is known to be one of the worst injuries ever for any athlete in an Achilles tear, they thought that he was basically a good enough replacement for Russell Westbrook. And at the beginning of the season, Russ really didn't help that noise at all, as he wasn't shooting well and the Washington Wizards were not winning. But that brings us here. We're a couple months of getting acclimated to playing with Bradley Beal and with the Washington Wizards. Russell Westbrook put up this in April. An entire month of averaging 21, 13, and 12 on 45% shooting. The only player to have 350 points, 200 rebounds, and 200 assists in 1 month, and the NBA records for triple-double in a single month with 14. And with the Washington Wizards now in the play-in, they are now the worst nightmare for any top-seeded team, as this Washington Wizards team should not be this low in the standings. And to see Russ break the all-time NBA triple-double record and finally getting some of the love that he deserves, it just took me back just to look at how in the past 4 years he's averaged a triple-double 3 times. Before he did it, people thought it was impossible to do. In that time, he's given us countless 50-point games, countless highlights, incredible dunks, passes, and has shown the game more love and passion than almost any other star in this league. And I think it's completely sad to say that a lot of this league took that for granted. But I hope you don't do that anymore and you're able to enjoy the rest of the career of one of the game's greatest players. Thank you guys for watching. That's all I have for y'all today. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe and hit the bell notification. It's really the best way to know when I post again. It's the best way to help the channel grow. But with that being said, this is boy FLB. That's my time, and I'm out.
Nigga, how much you made today? I put a pin in stick on my dinner plate. Me for a feature like how much you finna pay. You don't have to something which like minute made. No so grounds or kumi the uti. Need a chalomba, I need a karushi. Bustin' for me like my name is a boozy.